Hi, my name is Wudang Funk and I am a Wudang monk. This is the next portion of the Wudang method that I'm sharing with you. I'm breaking it down in a certain way, but understand that you can break it down in different ways. And I'm putting it in what I deem to be a logical order, although you could do it in other logical orders. There are some styles that strictly focus on one or two or a few of the motions that you learn in the 8 pieces of Brocade, but to truly do the Wudang method is to do them in a balanced way, right? So what I'm going to share with you now is practicing the 8 pieces of Brocade with shifting in your stance using the bow and arrow stance. To add this, logically, I say you should have practiced the first video, the regular version of the 8 pieces of Brocade for a little bit, and practiced the 8 pieces of the Brocade in the bow and arrow stance with your weight forward and back like I did in the second video. You should probably have at least done those 2 things first, and that will behoove you when you do this one. I also did it on single leg stance. Single leg stance is something that you can skip entirely if it is difficult for you. But if you're able to do it, that will also improve when you're doing it with this. But this could logically be step 3, right? In terms of if you did just the regular and then bow and arrow stance and then leading into this, right? But I'm saying you can construct it and deconstruct it in different ways. This is just the order that I'm teaching it to you in. So you could cycle through the different ones, especially if it feels rough on your legs. That's probably better to do. So maybe like one day you do 1 or 2 or 3 pieces of the Brocade with it, and then the next day you do the next 1 or 2 or 3, right? To do it in an even way is what I recommend. If you are able to, then doing all 8 in a day, that's usually what I do. Although not every day, but I do it a lot of days. Now, I've gone on sprees where I did do it every day. I do the regular 8 pieces of Brocade every day, and sometimes I get on a spree where I'm focusing on other martial arts, and I include those as part of the practice. Some days I'm focusing on just the Wudang, right? And then those are my sprees where this is a part of my practice every day, right? So here, you get into your bow and arrow stance, right? You would have learned it in the bow and arrow stance video. I'm giving you the side view so that you can see the shifting better. First, balance yourself just like we did. And now we're going to practice shifting first with holding the post just so that you can get the idea of how the shift works before you apply the other pieces of Brocade to it, right? So, I'm in the middle. I'm going to breathe out, shift forward. Breathe in, shift to the middle. Breathe out, shift back. Breathe in, shift to the middle. Nice and slow. I usually do about 3, okay? And now, we're going to start on one side. Breathe in as you shift. Breathe out, remain. Breathe in, shift. Breathe out, remain. Now, breathe in, remain. Breathe out, shift. Breathe in, remain. Breathe out, shift. I'm showing you at a medium pace for now. I'm recommending practicing at a medium pace for now and work on gradually slowing it down. Good, and of course we do that on the other side too. So you get into your bow and arrow stance, breathe into the middle, breathe out to the side, breathe into the middle, breathe out to the other side. Practice balance as you do so. Good. Now, get on one side. Breathe in, shift. Breathe out, remain. Breathe in, shift. Breathe out, remain. Breathe in, remain. Breathe out, shift. Okay, so that's the basic fundamental, and so then we apply it with all of the various pieces of Brocade. I'm just going to go ahead and show them all in the video. Depending on how your body is feeling, you might do them all in a sequence, or you might cycle through doing the different ones. Or if you choose to focus on one or a few pieces of the Brocade, as many styles do, then you would do this with that, right? But I recommend practicing in a balanced way. So I'm going to go on and show them all. And the breath fits exactly as I described. Just take the way that you breathe in the regular exercise, and now you do it as you balance and shift. Ready? First, with listening. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, in, out. And we switch sides. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. Right? Shake your legs out a little bit, especially if they feel tense, right? So if you at least do it with listening, it will help your hips open up, and it will help everything else be coordinated with your stance, right? You know, arguably, you could do the 8 pieces of Brocade, and you could do listening with all the different stances and footwork, and that would be plenty to get the stances and footwork working with you. But then that is still an imbalance in the direction of that one type of motion, right? And ultimately, with the Wudang method, you want a balance between the 8 types of motion, right? So it depends on how you choose to practice, right? So now, moving on. With spiraling. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. Very good. Now switching sides with spiraling. In, out, in, out. in, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. Good. Starting to get warm. These exercises will warm you up. Now, so remember, especially if you're feeling tension in your legs, it's totally okay to stop and shake your legs out or to just stop. Now, with compression, in, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. And switch your feet. With compression and expansion. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. Shake it out. With differentiation. Now, when you do this, think like the yang side drives the yin side, and the yin side draws the yang side. So they work together. So here. Breathe in, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. Switch sides. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. The feeling of that one is really cool when you start to really get the feel of it. Okay, with turning. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. I might have got that one crossed up. So let me break it down for a second. So in, remain, out to the side, in, remain, out to the side, and the other is, I think I did mess it up. So it would be out, remain, into the side, into the middle, or no, out, remain, into the side, out, remain, into the side. So no, I did do both sides. Okay, so breathe into the middle, out to the side. In, remain, out, shift. Now, in, shift, out, remain. Usually when I practice, I just zone out into it. I'm not really breaking it down. Okay, now, with spinning, breathe into the middle, breathe out, shift. Into the middle, out, shift. Breathe in, remain, breathe out, shift. Breathe in, shift, breathe out, remain. And switch your feet. Breathe in, breathe out, in, out. Breathe in, breathe out, in, out. In, out, in, out. Shake it out. With pounding. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. So the leg pushes me to the other side. The leg that I'm pounding down. Now it draws me in, out, in, out. You could do any of these reversed, but this is a balanced way of doing it. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. In, out, this way, in, out. Right, so I talked about alternately, you could also do the reverse on most of these, really. Well, really all of them, but learn it the basic way first. But you could also do breathe in, press into that leg, breathe into the middle, press into that leg to drive you. Just try to find a balance. Okay, now, just like we did in the bow and arrow stance initially and in the single leg stance, if you took part in that, drill your feet into the ground with twisting rather than lifting you up like in the original exercise. So here, I can show it better. So here, that's the original. What we're going to do here is drill into the ground. Okay? So you could do it on the reverse too. I'm just going to show it on the regular twist. Ready? Breathe in, breathe out, in, out. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. Switch feet. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. In, out, in, out. All right, so you can see why this logically comes after regular brocade and bow and arrow brocade. Now, we're doing two things at once, right? We're shifting while we are doing the brocade, so you want to have learned that first. However, if you add this to your practice, it will accelerate your progress by loosening up your hips from different angles and the other components that move as well, right? So, thank you very much. My name is Wudang Funk, and I am a Wudang monk, and there are more videos coming out, including more martial arts videos and also more music videos, which I am very excited about. The music videos take a little bit longer, so you'll probably see more martial arts videos in the near future than music videos, but hopefully I'll get to the point where I can keep making music videos. I eventually want to make one for every song. Now, thank you very much. Have a good one.